Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well today. I am guided by Spirit. I'm recording this episode late in the evening, June 25th. Trigger warning, the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. All cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. In today's episode, which was actually going to be a talking point for our weekly Royal Hoax show, has now, over the course of today, developed into a episode, unfortunately. This we'll be looking at the incident with Anne Princess Royal. And I don't know, I've always had she's always drawn my attention for some reason. Maybe it's the sixes. You'll note her date of birth on the top left here, 15 sixes in her date of birth. Now, the current situation is Anne, Princess Royal, also known as Princess Anne, who is the sister to King Charles, has been hospitalized with concussion. So that is one thing. So that's when that news broke, I started this working slide just to have a look and start seeing if I see any anomalies. And of course, I did pick up a 14-5-888 anomaly, which would be the reflection day of the Sunday. So we'll talk about that. And now the news is memory loss. So that piques my interest, unfortunately. And according to reports based on her husband who went there, for some reason everyone's talking about what's in the blue bag. But however, it's now, she may be there in hospital for a week. So now there's too many things happening. So as the story goes, if you aren't aware, June the 23rd, Anne Princess Royal goes for an evening stroll, I'm led to believe. Now, I know in the Northern Hemisphere, when you guys have your summers, sunlight goes till about 8 even, huh? Even 9 possibly. But be that as it may, it's said to be an evening stroll around the property. Now we can say it's summer, cool breeze, nice to be outdoors, decorated, member of the royal family, no stranger to horses. But obviously, something went wrong and allegedly was kicked in the head by a hoof from a horse or however. So I've developed the main chart here, and I've put Charles's date of birth here as well, just as a reference point. Very interesting to note between Anne and Charles, their outcomes are very much the same. Now we know manipulation and when it should be born and how it must be born and how it must be raised, all that plays a significant role in the royal household. But very interesting that they both have exactly identical outcomes, except Charles has the 4711. Now, significant that Anne has the 6s. This is really, this is where things like OCD come into play. When you have people with too many 6s, they are like hyper OCD type people. Hygiene. The 14-5 in the day is a little bit unfortunate for Anne but on the negative, it's all the bullshitters that come away. However, the role that Anne has been playing is the attaché, the conduit between kingdoms, governments, people, royal family members. She's the glue in the family, right? The youngest daughter of the Queen Mother. So something is up here, ladies and gentlemen. And as mentioned, I was going to leave this for the cartoon show on the weekend called the Royal Hoax Cartoon. So to give you perspective, here is where Daddy and the kids go out and Taylor Swift, June 21. That's just to give you perspective. So June 23, let's just see what's going on here. So in the day here, this is not a very good number. And I'll just say out loud, because I've just been reminded again by spirits, and that is, and I was meaning to say, over the past day or so, I've been scrubbing dates, because obviously there's been a lot of cases recently with overlapping dates. I have been meditating on this card now probably half a day. I've been aware of the situation as soon as I heard the metadata here. Well, yeah, this was at 2:36. It's now approaching 8 p.m. But the news about the now memory loss is a concern for me, and I'm sure for all of you as well, because this can lead to all sorts of manipulation. And being I believe, I've always had a soft spot for her for some reason, in this last year or two, for some reason, for whatever reason. Something is up here. So let's just say June 23, what we have at the outcome of the day, when supposedly this miracle, once in a lifetime event happens, that a trained person well aware of horses gets booted in the head. I don't think so. So in the zone where this incident happens, who do we have on the scene here? We got higher ups in discussion here. People in authorities, remember my roots, being corrected or helped with additional understanding of numbers. 37. These are people of authority, are in groups having discussions, and there are other people and transactions going on here. So for me, this is a very odd number. This is an odd number sequence in relation to the day, and in particular, the context of the crime. In fact, crime, listen to me. Context of the incident. As soon as they say incident, why don't they just say horse kicked mum in the head? Now, so something's a bit off. In head, kicks and in head on Sunday night. After having a lovely roast meal, dinner, late afternoon, had to go for a stroll and gets kicked in the head. Now, for me, where this orange block is, that doesn't tell me. This tells me a different story here. Here is wheeling dealings going on here, conniving, manipulation. Now, I believe why this has happened. I believe this does have something to do with Kate. Why? Because Monday, when Anne Princess Royal is taken to hospital, and by the way, if it was on Sunday, like you would see here in June 24 and the 6th, 6 is the head. 6 is a head injury. But I'm not seeing it here on this day. Yes, we've got June. So something's off there, but we'll go deeper, All right, here we go. So on the day that Anne is taken to hospital, we see the 33 and the 12-3, which pings on Catherine. The 24-6, if we take it on that level, is the family, Catherine, and there's a lot of emotions and arguments and issues around the situation. So let me just say, the impression that I received while looking at this to understand what is actually going on here, because it's never going to be in plain sight, right? As these puppet masters like to play. So I'm just going to say out loud, I don't believe everyone in the royal family is happy with this situation. With Kate pinging. And I'll look at numbers and show and talk about it. But the impression that I'm getting is not everyone is happy about the situation. So if we look, and I believe there may be some genesis, of course, this is the reason why I brought back in this December sequence, because I'm going to have a look here as well. Because the alarming numbers 44, you'll recall December 28 is the day journalists witnessed ambulance leaving the Kate Middleton household. (40, 22, 4). Those are the fathers and rules and bullshit in the background. And we have them here as well. Right here. So no coincidence that we're seeing patterns here. So we got the male situation happening here as well. And this happens to be right in the summary day, June 26. And we see the imbalance of the 8s here. Things are going awry with male influence, the higher ups, males, fathers. And who has the power number in his date of birth here? 22-4. As I'm thinking, we may be seeing an unraveling. The House of Cards are starting to shake. I was going to leave this to record in the morning to let it settle. It was going to be part of the Saturday Royal Hoax show. But when they start speaking about amnesia, then we've got problems, ladies and gentlemen. So if we look at the summary day here highlighted in blue, now for those that are new, just the information that I'll garner from June 26, just these number sequences here, will give me a summary and reflection of what transpired on the so-called Sunday when you get kicked in the head by a horse at night when they're meant to be sleeping, right? We have a 14-5 in the middle of this day here. So there's foul play here, ladies and gentlemen, in my humble opinion. We note the 32-5. We picked this up in the Karen Reed case, where groups are breaking down. So it's like and I've just been reminded and touched on by Spirit, whenever the Queen Mother or the matriarch goes down, of course the next in line need to assert themselves, as in this case Charles is the king, and shake it all loose there, William is the king in waiting. But Anne carries certain weight here. And we're starting to get a hint of, well, not a hint. Are we seeing the unraveling? Are we seeing the unraveling? Now we have a 74-year-old woman who has been hospitalized because she got kicked in the head by a horse on Sunday night. And now all of a sudden can't remember a thing, according to reports. So this 32-5 in the Karen Reed case, beg your pardon. I got reprimanded for that. Not reprimanded. Karen Reed case, 32-5 is the destruction of these little harmonious groups that used to exist. Now I'm not saying, and not to jump around, but I'm not saying William on June the 21st must not have a good birthday. I'm not saying that. But where's Catherine? And then dancing like a buffoon when the world or many people are mourning or wondering, where is Kate Middleton? Now, the next day, the Saturday, there's an interesting sequence here. So we already have the 22-4, right? Now, on one level, of course, it pings directly on Charles. And we've got these big blowout numbers here, 28, 10, 1. About the 36, 9, 18, 9, treachery. I have a feeling, when I saw this 22-4, that a meeting may have been called within the family. Or at least initially with the higher-ups. 22-4. Perhaps William wasn't up that early that morning. Because June the 23rd, we see 23-5, which indicates community. And we note Anne has a 23-5. And so on June the 26th, we come back here on this reflection day, it's reversed, 32-5. And this is the breakup that we saw with the Karen Reid case, where the groups of all these pedos. Now, in this case, of course, you got your greater royal community, which was led by the Queen Elizabeth. But we're seeing an unraveling. And this is 32-5, is that destruction of this. It's imploding from within. Now, also alarming on June the 27th, which is now 2 days from now technically. We see 33-6. What is going on here, ladies and gentlemen? What sinister plans have been plotted here? Now, when I started looking at this and just meditating on, before even highlighting and putting blocks, I believe something may have been said here, 22-4. There's big discussions going on here. These are higher up discussions. These are not tweets and conversations and yes and hi and I'm doing fine, blah, blah, fish cake. These are serious discussions. And I have a funny feeling Anne is not happy. 29-11-2, if we recall Trooping the Colors sequence, when I did the preview, we saw the 29-11-2, which was present in that sequence. Murder, death of 2 people. And the day Anne is admitted to hospital, we have the 33-12-3. That is Kate. So another question that bugs me in terms of where these numbers are positioned in the day that they are is June 24, Anne gets admitted to hospital. But why is her numbers here? So what I'm getting to is, if an incident happens with Anne on this day, on the Sunday, June 23, beg your pardon. Of course, we identify her, 2911-2, 2911-2. We can start matching there. But the outcome, if the outcome was 3811-220, outcome 211-2, then I'd say, wow, this is something definitely happened to her on this day. It's almost like I've had this thought twice, and I'm going to share it. I'm just going to put it out there because it happens. I hope they're not going to institutionalize her. Because the impact is on her, but why would the impact be on her, when she's in a safe, secure hospital, right? Just saying. There's lots of stories about royal rejects in psychiatric wards and foster care homes. But the numbers around you are a little bit treacherous. And this sequence here at the end of June 23, when supposedly this happened to Anne, this to me, that's bullshit. So we go the reflection 26, which is the reflection day for the 23rd, 14-5 is bullshit. There's something else at play here. The imbalance of eights, 22-4. Treachery is about, ladies and gentlemen. Now, according to the latest news, Anne is going to be in hospital for a week. A week. Beaten by horse hoof or something. What is going on here? So we won't spend too much time, but I just thought, let's bring in some comparison. These are the people you're finding on the scenes, you know what I mean? So the people that were involved in the December 28 debacle will also be, well, I'm assuming, or this is the test, are they around here as well? All within the royal family. Now we must recall, William also has 11 twos. See, all by design. GCM was... Alright, beg your pardon. I just need to get his date of birth. A clean one, yeah. See, all by design, The power numbers, 11 twos, 11 twos. See there, 11 twos, 11 twos. So he's also got the 29-11-2. You see there, all by design. All by design. The Royal Puppet Show. But the fathers and the higher-ups are present here on all of them. The higher-ups. We got 37-10-1, higher-ups. 37-10-1, higher-ups in the sequence. So interesting, you see, I've just spotted this now. June 24 outcome is the 38-11-2, same outcome as December 28, the day before. There's big movement happening around here. And coincidence or not, I only saw it now when I was doing this now actually, that the outcomes here are matching what is happening here, coincidentally. So we'll have to keep our eyes on the news to see what happens to Anne, Princess Royal. But something is amiss here. And the minute I heard Amnesia, alarm bells. What is going on here? All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned, it was going to be the Saturday part of the Saturday Royal Hoax Show sequence. But let's keep our eyes and ears on the radio and news to see what's happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Please leave your comments and your opinions. I do engage with them. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay alert, and let's keep watching the story. Bye for now.